Hey guys, Jason here, ProFit International Health and Fitness. Look, in these crazy times that we're going through now with coronavirus, we're all looking at some new ways that we can work out from home. And I thought I'd put together a little video for you today about the top five exercises that you can do at home to build strength and also burn a little bit of extra body fat. After all, it's all about that output to stay lean, because obviously we want to come out of this bigger, stronger, faster than we went into it. So look, let's get into it. I'm not going to touch on this. It's not a crazy little pose, but it's definitely something from the yoga persuasion. Don't get me wrong, yoga is always great, but for us today, we're looking at strength and mobility movements. First things first, we all know a squat. Nice and easy, this one. Obviously, weight's going to be back on heels, as you can see here. End result is preferably keeping the hips below the knees. However, you're going to take that, you're going to take your range of motion into account here. So you may only come down to halfway. That's perfectly fine. You're just going to do what your body will allow you to do. Like I said, weight's on those heels. At the bottom of the range, you can allow those knees to fall open and just watch the knees actually don't come in together as you drive back up again. Nice and easy. Obviously, if that's too easy for you, you can add a little bit of weight. We've been using grocery bags with sand is for a few of our one-on-ones. Or obviously, if you've got some anything heavy, water jugs, anything like that, you can add a jump, that explosive movement. That also works a treat for these squats, adding the intensity as well. Alrighty, next one along, let's go straight through it. Plank variations. Look, I'm not usually a big plank fan, but I do like their variations. To start off with, we do need to understand a little bit about the posture. So we're looking at the pelvis here. So the top of the pelvis gets pulled closer to the bottom of the rib cage here. That's just forcing the abs on. Just watch, there's no drop in the low back. So this image I've got here is actually done quite well. You can come up onto the hands if you need to. It's just that a little bit easier. Note the direction of the arms here is directly underneath the shoulder. That's exactly where you need to be. The plank variations. Now this is where it starts to get a little bit fun. We can start to look at the movements through the core and actually what the core is responsible for. So you've got your bottom up movement. So exactly that. You've got that roll in the pelvis there. You've got a top down movement, which is generally used for crunches or similar. You've also got the rotational movements in all three dimensions as well. So plank variations, they're another one there. One of my favorites is actually a rolling plank or a dynamic plank. I've heard it being called. Which is where the hips, if you can imagine your hips, they're off to one side, you lift them up, roll across the body and drop back down. And that's the basic movement for a dynamic plank. That's one of my personal favorites. There's tons out there, obviously mountain climbers, or use your imagination for these ones. They're always fun. Plank and plank variations, that's number 2. Number 3, you have rows of some description. The particular one that we're showing here is an inverted row. So basically hanging off a bar, feet on the ground there, you're stretching the body out. The more horizontal you are, the harder this becomes. Okay, so it's very scalable to whichever level you're at. Things to remember here, see how the chest is being pulled up to the bar rather than pulling the bar down to the chest. That's just to help keep any sort of roll out of the shoulders here. We're actually exaggerating the chest and squeezing the back on. It'll just help to just prioritize the back rather than run the risk of any sort of shoulder issues down the track. Variations for rows, there's tons. Again, you can use your shopping bags with sand. You can use your, obviously, weights. Luggage works a treat as well. If you've got resistance bands or even a bit of rope, growing up, we had a heap of telecom rope. There's the Ipswich coming out in me. Throw it over top of the post or the veranda, and then just hold on to the rope. You might need some handles though, just to soften the grip a little bit. It's all about squeezing the shoulders back as you pull in. So whether those arms are down by the sides or out on about a 45-degree angle, it's up to you. There's tons of variations out there. That's a row. It's basically, it's what we call a horizontal pull movement. Number 4, lunges. So we've gone from squat, we've got a plank, our horizontal pull. Now we're looking at our gait, so our lunge. So again, there's tons of variations for these. You've got your walking lunges, step back. You've got your step behind. You've got your around the world lunges or 3-dimensional lunges, whichever you want to call them. You can add your weight. You can add the jumps. Basically, the only thing you really need to worry about is the weight is on that front foot there. So if you need to hang on to, imagine a post or a door frame right here, you can actually hold on and lean right back against that just to bring that weight back onto the heel. And you're actually going to press directly down rather than bringing everything up. So that knee is in a great position there. It's not traveling too far forward. And that back foot is just there for balance. It's not really a prime mover. That's your lunge. Chin-ups. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be a little hesitant about trying chin-ups since it's a huge movement. But trust me, it is a very scalable movement as well. So we've got our horizontal pull with our rows. These are what we call a vertical pull. So instead of pulling in, we're actually pulling down. Okay. So when I say scalable, particularly if you've got a piece of rope or a resistance band, you can actually loop that around the knees or the feet and use that as assistance, I should say, not resistance, as assistance to help you pull all the way to the top. If you've got a flight of stairs, that works a treat. That's what I personally have been using. But again, bars are a treat as well. The alternative for this one is a pull-up. So instead of, I don't know if you can see that in the video, instead of that wider grip, you've got an underhand grip about shoulder height, about shoulder width, I should say. That will be a lot easier on the elbows, forearms, wrists, that sort of area. You do have to watch, however, that the biceps don't take over. So it's essentially a variation of a bicep curl, I guess. So they're your chin-ups. They are your top 5. So we're covering a lot of our movements. So within these 5, you should be able to hit everything. We're not going to touch on the cardio side of things at the moment or the general how to lose body fat in isolation. It's just going to be top 5 exercises that will help burn body fat. I hope you got something out of this one. I'll be doing a couple of these videos over the next few weeks. So look, keep an ear out for those. Of course, we're starting our group fitness. At the moment, it is all virtual, so you can apply, shoot me a message, find me on Facebook, just Jason Gent or ProFit. Seeing out, guys, we do have our one-on-one coaching as well. Obviously, we're getting some crazy results out of our one-on-ones, particularly a lot of the people that are stuck at home. Yeah, guys, any questions? If you know an exercise that we forgot, please comment below, shoot me a message. If you want to jump on board for either one-on-one or virtual group sessions, please let me know. We are filling up ridiculously quickly, actually. It's quite great to see. Otherwise, guys, I am here if you need me. And yeah, have a great, what are we, Wednesday? Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks, guys.